Hey everyone, so this might be a long video, but let me just give you the premise. Today we'll be going over every single season that Deep Rock has had, from Season 1 to Season 5, and fully given my main aspect disliked about each season and stuff, everything like that. So let's begin. Season 1, Industrial Incursion. This was actually when I joined. Halfway, a quarter through, I'm not sure, but I joined somewhere in between. So, might as well just load up here. It gives the concepts of seasons, where our space rig would change, even though during season 1 and 2 there was no changes to the space rig. Everything robotic here has been added after we were able to go back to season 1 and 2. But we got this like performance pass down here, we got challenges, these little rewards, a cosmetic tree with rewards, situation briefing so we could figure out what's going on, type thing. It's all cool. Also given in this season, Industrial Sabotage, my personal favorite mission, because the boss fight actually feels like it escalates, because each phase he gains new attacks. Summon in phase bombs, summon in shredder swarms, summon in sniper turrets, type thing, like he gains abilities. There's also machine event like things activated to help us get these seasonal bonuses. This being, for Season 1, a prospector drone that can roam around the caves, or a data deposit. The prospector drone was you would have to defeat 3 health bars of it. Every time it goes down a health bar, it would gain a shield to become immune to all damage, while summoning packs of shredders and patrol bots to try and take you out as it ran away. You destroy it, it falls to the ground, drops a data cell, and some resources, and boom. The data deposit thing was entirely you walk over, call Haxie down, build the little thing that's actually like right here going on, and boom, you'd defend Haxie and then gain the data cell from the data deposit. Also, new weapons were added during this time. Gunner got the Hurricane guided rocket system. When I saw the trailer for this, like trailer for season 1 after I was playing a bit, I saw this and I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, guided rocket. That seems fun. But then I remembered we're in caves and... Scout was given Drac 25 plasma carbine, which I kind of like. Nice fast projectile assault rifle weapon, which is pretty good. Driller was given the sludge pump, one of my all-time favorite weapons, and what actually got me to play Driller in the first couple seasons. And then the Lock 1 Smart Rifle, which was a weapon that I used a lot as engineer, because entirely I did not want to aim. It's funny, for the most part. Then, of course, we were also given the rest of the rival tech that is here. Patrol bots, kind of our normal fighters. Shredders, kind of our swarmers of the sky. The Caretaker himself. Robotic appendage, it only shows up with the Caretaker. Repulsion turrets, burst turrets, sniper turrets, and the prospector drone. We were also given a little hacking thing to take that when a patrol bot, sometimes when a patrol bot got destroyed, it would be able to be hacked, which was nice, because then we could hack it and it would become our side. And that's all. That's all the big stuff. I ain't going over like the tiny bits of stuff. Like voice lines, balance changes, and everything. Alright, come on, refresh faster. Okay, next up was Season 2, Rival Escalation. Rivals making our processes a bit harder. With the essence of a new season event, Rival Signal, which was a satellite that you went over to, destroyed the three corners by holding square and destroying them with your hammer. Then a Y would light up, run over to that node, hack it, and then go to the next node, and that's it. And of course, you also had a time limit. As well added to the list was Rival Presence. A big thing, actually, that I actually loved. Because I got to fight robots in actually other modes. I didn't just fight them, in Industrial Sabotage. I could fight them in all the other missions that were here at the time. The reason I didn't give up my thing for Season 1 was because, mainly, like I said, was there when it started. As well, we were also given the Rival Nemesis. This thing was creepy when it first showed up, and you fought it for the first time. After fighting it a bit, you start to realize how it works, but it is still a threat when it does show up. New performance pass and stuff, rewards. I'm not going to go over that stuff every time we get to a new season. However, we were also given new secondaries. Gunner, arms called Coil Gun, technically just a nice railgun-like weapon. Scout, one of, if not the best secondary in the game, due to the fact that you can carry like almost every single different type of effect arrow. So that's nice. And plus you also got stuff that gives off effects as well as grenades, so. Colette Wave Cooker, one of my personal favorites after using it a bit. I didn't like it in the beginning, but it started to grow on me. And finally, my all-time favorite weapon, Shard Diffractor. I just love the idea of a chunk of armor in Hearthstone to power this thing up. It's awesome. We're also given Phasianite to buy things in the shop, and also Mastery. A and B choice for forgery, medical gowns, and yeah, that's all that stuff. Anyways, for the most part, Season 2 I liked a lot, mainly due to the fact that I was then able to jump to other missions and fight robots, instead of just being like, oh yeah, I want to fight robots. Okay, I gotta go here, or I gotta do this one. Like, that was it. Next up, Season 3, Plaguefall. I know a couple people were happy about this due to the fact that entirely we were away from the robots. And then people started to hate it. So the seasonal event was a meteors, multiple small meteor fragments where only one would be carrying the Plague Heart, or one ginormous meteor that when you broke it open, or went to it, called 2 rock crackers, start breaking them, defend the rock crackers, break the thing, you'll get multiple. And that was one thing as well, is you needed multiple instead of one to get a single event bonus. Lithophage Outbreak was then also added to the map for multiple missions. That's the warning. And it was mainly 1 to 3 plague contagion spikes that you'd need to clean, while also doing the main mission as well. You would get cleaning tools to help do it, with the Lithofoamer and Lithovac, which is kind of cool to see that, our regular weapons aren't doing much to do anything. As well as in Season 3, we were introduced to Rockpox Larva, Rockpox Grunt, and Rockpox Praetorian. This is the part I hated about Season 3. These guys barely showed up due to the fact that they would only technically show up in small, tiny groups, leading you towards the the contagion spikes, and grunts and praetorians only showed up while cleaning the contagion spikes or when a rockpox infected wave happened or swarm happened in the cave. It was mainly due to the fact that it was just here's a small thing and then here's a beefier version of it. But of course, Season 4 fixes that. For grenades, entirely jumping to the next thing, grenades, we have Tactical Lead Burster, because why not? Give the guy who's known for big guns a gun with a grenade on it. Actually quite useful. It's very hard for me to try and use it though. We'll take Stun Sweeper. I believe this thing is the longest stun we ever have in the game. Spring-Loaded Ripper, one of my all-time favorite grenades. Does need a bit of brain power to use if you want to use it to like a good potential of setting up a trap of some kind. However, this lawnmower-like weapon just cuts through nothing. Or cuts through most things. And the Shredder Swarm Grenade, where, you know, every engineer runs it. I've decided to move to something else. But it's a nice chip damage-like grenade for the most part. Assignment stuff, blah, blah, that's all industrial sabotage stuff. Changing to be showing up less, but also can show up in deep dives. Point extraction cave assignment. Point extraction caves get better cave layouts, or more cave layouts, for the most part. Now on to Season 4. Season 4, Critical Corruption. So entirely just gonna go back on these ones. Have no thought about this one. I really like this one. This one was not the biggest fan of. This made me start liking it a bit more. And we were given Rockpox Corruptor, or as the community has somehow, I don't even know how it started and how it continued, but Herald. Yet the community named this Herald. So the Rockpox Corruptor shows up as the event. It's a nice, cool boss fight of where your guns are kind of useless until sort of the end after you've scraped off all the layers. And then you can kill it, which is kind of cool. And the big aspect of new bugs of the Rockpox group. Spitters, Exploders, Goo Bombers, and Lithophage Rockpox Breeders. Which not a lot of these things show up. We were also given on the new enemy list the Septic Spreader, which when he first showed up wasn't the worst pain. He was a meh type thing. And the Stingtail, which the only thing I disliked mainly about it was it was super tanky, but it showed up as much as like a Glyphid Grunt. Or guard slasher, technically. Like, it showed up a lot within swarms, but it was also tanky. They then, you know, changed up him to make it a bit easier to fight him. Same with the Septic Spreader, making his projectiles being able to be shot out of the air. However, they would still create a pool and fall to the ground. Rockpox was also easier to deal with. We were also given jet boots in the caves every once in a while. They're fun. Most of the time when I have jet boots, I forget I have them, and I'm just run around. And then when the mission ends and we load up another mission, I sit there and think to myself, oh, why can't I use jet boots? You know? When I didn't even use them for the most part in the last mission. We were also given Jetty Boot. Which I suck at this Jetty Boot, but unlocking the jet boots in the caves, I'm actually pretty good at. We're also given a new beer randomizer, which is quite nice. Also given Okay, this is... Yeah, that's stuff. But yeah, we're also given randomizer there, random loadout, copy paste stuff, armor, slaves, blah blah blah. And I like randomizer because I can have a random loadout, and then it won't ruin the stuff I've already built on this one, because it's like if I jumped here to a random build and then I jump back to my regular, which is nice. But yeah, season 4, a lot better than Season 3 in my mind. Season 3 is nice, though, to introduce the Rockpox. And yes, I understand Season 3 is the beginning of Rockpox type thing. Like, yes, it's the beginning of it, so that's understandable. But also, during the ending of Season 4, or during the maintenance thing, we got this, which allows you to get skins for weapons that you use a lot, which is kind of cool. But after, of course, all that, we finally got Drilling Deeper, which is a nice season because it takes a nice break from kind of all of the stuff. Like, we're not fighting robots anymore, we're not fighting Rockbox stuff, we're going back to just profit, normal, everything fine sort of thing. Starting off entirely with Deep Scan. It feels like point extraction or like an egg hunt, something like that, where you're searching for the thing, and then it swaps to an escort type thing near the end, where you're going down the drill elevator. But it's nice. The Core Stone event's pretty cool due to the fact that, well, it's a boss fight type thing. And even though there's only one creature in this event, like, you're going to be fighting just crawlers, their sporadic movement and stuff, I think, makes up for the fact that there's only one. And plus, it's a chance you run into this, and you're not going to always want to hit this type thing. We're also given some new enemies with Voltox Scale Bramble, my personal favorite. I like the design, I like how it works, being unkillable until you destroy the nodes, and then it's quite weak still. But it also shoots like 4 shots or something. It's dangerous. Barrage Infector, which I have seen this thing wipe out people who were unprepared. And finally, the one bug I hate due to the fact that I love listening to music and not, have the game audio playing for the most part. But for God's sakes, I wanted to just listen to music, but now I gotta listen for if this thing is here. But yeah, it is very dangerous, very, very. In there, listen to the little clicking sound. And also, I've never seen multiple dwarves stop what they're doing to fully check out these things. Or check out where these things are. We were also given Has 5 Plus, which I play on Has 4. I don't play on Has 5. But it seems cool. And I've already made a video on, the potential of adding more modifiers to Has 5 to make it literally almost unplayable on all of them, but like you get fun challenge and stuff. It's all cool. Forgot one thing as well. New secondary objectives with destroying eggs and destroying barnacles. Deep Dive's got new stuff like Deep Scan as a primary or secondary, Morkite Well as a secondary, Warnings and Anomalies, that being secret secondary, so there's a second secondary mission. Blood Sugar, you slowly lose HP, more bugs, or decreased time between small ambush waves or some. It feels like they sort of send a nice stream of enemies to keep your health up, because every time you just defeat a bug, they drop some red sugar. And the new warnings being duck and cover, where there's mainly every ranged enemy imaginable, and Ebonite Outbreak, where Ebonite creatures show up and Molly shoots out the little power attack bonus stuff. Season reactivation terminal, which is one of the best things of all time. Now, I fully maxed out every single one of these beforehand, but now it has actually made me, start taking things slower, because, I don't have to worry about losing my stuff and having to go find cargo crates and stuff. New dance moves, that's all small stuff, Oh, Armor in Hearthstone got a new phase where it grabs like a claw. That has made escort missions a lot more fun, because now it feels entirely of like it's swarm. Yeah, swarm, either the claw, rocks, or the beams, another swarm, and then whatever the other two that it didn't do. So it shakes up that boss fight a bit more. And on to the big thing, overclocks. The new overclocks. Rotary overdrive, an amazing overclock for the minigun. However, I chew through ammo on this a lot, because I think to myself, oh yeah, let me just continue, throwing heat down, and then I realize I'm out of ammo. Mortar rounds, why not? Let's give the gun that's known for splash damage. No, I don't think it says there. But yeah, it's a splash damage weapon by itself. But yeah, let's just give it more splash damage. And then cluster bomb, or cluster charges, which actually doesn't feel that bad. Slower projectile helps you aim the cluster bombs better. The less mag and ammo is fine, because you can just kind of counteract it with ammo upgrades. For the most part, seems fine. The burst fire. A lot of people say the burst fire is a weak overclock. Look at that. Yes, it's lower rate of fire. That's fully understandable, because it's burst fire. But everything else is just bonuses. And personally, I love using it. Now, if you say it's bad, I'm fully fine with you entirely. You say. But, I love it. And plus, it shakes things up, because then I now have an assault rifle, and I now have a burst fire weapon. Marked for death. I do not use this gun enough to mainly throw my stuff out for overclocks, but I have been on the other class end where I see someone marked for death and yeah, it feels fun watching whatever they marked be deleted. Okay, conductive thermals. This thing feels great if you're up with a driller, or if you have the bow, the crossbow, because then you just, hit them a couple times and throw a nice bolt or something. Driller. The Scorching Tide actually only gives you the bonus of the shockwave. It just consumes ammo and you lose speed, but there is no downside to it all. It's just you have shockwave. Crystal nucleation. Sticky flames, but ice. And can be modified if you throw cooling perks on, or damage perks, which is nice. And yes, this is also fun use. Combustive goo mix. Okay. You know, it kind of sucks that our, like, only source of heat is this weapon, but... Okay, yeah. Anything that's, gooed explodes, and anything burning will, make the goo explode. Like, no matter what. Fire and goo. Explosion. It's kind of crazy. Then we got the Warthog pump action, which I just want to say is nice, but personally I like the more faster firing over the pump action shotgun. I can fully think of people like loving this, but like if I have a fast firing shotgun, I think I'm gonna do more good with it instead of a pump action. This one actually got two Hyperloid assembly, which massive recoil. This thing already has recoil. Like it already has bad recoil for the most part. And then also microconductor, which now activates on platforms as well, which is nice. You know, seeing that platforms are now useful instead of just turrets. Everything. Then unlock smart trigger. This, if you ever wanted to just sit back and let your gun do the work, equip this. And just watch everything that stands before you drop. For the most part, every season has been well. And technically, if I had to give every group of seasons a week one right now, technically it would be season 1 because I wasn't there when it began, and season 3 because there was not enough plague. Not putting season 5 into this list due to the fact that, you know, season 6 is not out. However, though, I do love all the seasons. Every season has brought amazing enemies, missions, little fun, goofy stuff to do while waiting for your friends, or stuff to do on missions. All in all, I like all this stuff, and I am excited for whatever Season 6 brings to the table. Anyways, that is all. I will see you all later, and goodbye.